what's good, listeners? Welcome to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Good morning, Marissa. How's it going, fam?
Fabulous.
Yeah, it is a good day. I know everybody's, honoring all the vets out there, so we definitely want to make sure to plug that right in at the top of the show. Thank you for your service. Without you, young, fine men and women out there today, we wouldn't be here having this talk show. We wouldn't even be having this Friday morning right now if it wasn't for you.
And another thing I always say,
souls.
if it wasn't for them, I also wouldn't be able to just dress like a hoochie mama whenever I want to. So thank you.
Hey, I like how you see the on the brighter side of the moon, or the sun. I mean, excuse me. But hey, I definitely want to shout this one individual out, while we're at the top of the show, because veteran actor and the man considered by millions to be the voice of Batman, Kevin Conroy, has passed away at the age of 66 this morning. People have been sharing some of their favorite moments of the Batman, and here's a little clip from the documentary I Know That Voice. I love this moment. Here's Kevin Conroy.
We'll be getting all these, hundreds of meals ready, and this one guy in the middle of the night, like 3 nights into this, he goes, "So my day job is I'm an architect." He says, "What's your day job?" I said, "Well, I do voices mostly." He went, "I knew it." He said, "You're the guy who does Batman. You're that Kevin Conroy." So he goes into this dining hall, and this is, the first week after the attack, and there'd been like just this somber sadness. And you hear him go, guys, you're not gonna believe who's been cooking your dinners. It's Batman." There's this long silence, and you hear, "Bullshit," from the back of the place. And he said, then someone else says, "Make him prove it." So I thought, oh, this is good. So I'm in the back kitchen, and I do from the back kitchen, "I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman." There's this long pause, and then you hear from the back of the place, "Holy that is Batman." And suddenly people were laughing. And the architect who had recognized me said, "What's it feel like to be Santa Claus?" I said, "Because that's what..."
I love that. How does it feel like to be Santa Claus? Because, when you have an iconic voice like that, and I know, especially looking at someone like Kevin, Marissa, and let me bring you back on camera because, when I think about some of these amazing voiceover actors, I mean, I hate to bring this back on me, but when I'm working like a part-time gig here and there, whether it's being a stage manager, working at the liquor store, just doing anything in general, I'm always told, that baritone voice, man, it's so iconic. So I understand, when you listen to someone like Kevin, especially when he's partner side with the great Mark Hamill as the Joker. I mean, those guys are so freaking legendary. It got to the point where, the Batman series, when it started getting adapted to the video game world, they had to bring on the originals like Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. And age 66, that is way too soon. And some of the greatest lines, "I am Benjamin, I am the night, I am Batman." I mean, we just saw that from Robert Pattinson.
I grew up on that saying.
And no, it's truly iconic. We definitely wanted to give a huge shout out again at the top of the show to Kevin Conroy and his family. He is the Batman. He will forever be my Batman. And you know what? But other than that, we just definitely want to let you guys know we got a great show for everybody that's tuning in to the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. But before we begin, make sure you hit and like that subscribe button so you never miss a live show. And our guest that's going to be joining us on Just Talking is director and writer Zach Koepp to discuss his gripping social media thriller, The Willowbrook, and also our brand new episode of Off the Fret, More Music Talk podcast featuring Los Angeles pop rockers Poe the Passenger drops today at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you're going to love it. I mean, they've been absolutely killing it in the game. They got over 1 million streams on their debut LP, Alinea. We talk so much of that and a lot of industry talk and so much more. So keep a lookout, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on our YouTube channel. And, since we got a little bit of a minute here, Marissa, tell me a joke. Tell me your best mama joke.
My best mama joke?
Yeah, because I can't say daddy joke.
I don't know any. I don't
Give
know
me
mommy
something,
jokes.
Marissa. You got nothing
jokes.
this Friday morning.
All my jokes are dirty.
All right, I got one for everybody. I got a blonde joke. How did the blonde fall out of the tree?
How?
Because it was raking the leaves. That's right, everybody. You are joining the Chris Collins Show. See, she doesn't get it.
I do get it.
Thank God. See, Marissa's not feeling my, okay, fine. I guess I fell in the category of dad jokes. But hey, we got a great show and we're going to kick it off. This is Say It coming on up. This one's called Say It.
I'm beyond livid.
That's what's been irking me like crazy.
Psycho X.
We hope that he grows from this.
No, legit. I was trying to figure that out also.
Whatever's on our mind, that was something that's been griping.
So, I get to just say it.
That's my question, Marissa. That's right. This is Say It because, there's so many things that are being discussed on the news right now. And I know that this was a heavily discussed topic late last night. So let's get right on into it. Student loan borrowers are now waiting indefinitely to see if they will receive a debt relief under President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program after a federal judge in Texas struck down the program Thursday, declaring it illegal. So the Department of Justice immediately appealed to the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, but that case will have to play out before the Biden administration can cancel any federal student loan debt under the program. And oh my Lanta, were the comments flying online. So let's go ahead and showcase one of the more popular tweets. This one is from an individual who says, all y'all happy that canceling hashtag student loan forgiveness are weird ASF. You're mad at people getting an opportunity for some financial relief like it wasn't your generation who instilled the whole, quote, go to college if you want a good life. BS. Fan number 2 says, the olds be like, oh, this is a different one. Sorry, I jumped ahead. The olds be like, quote, I worked making $3.50 an hour in the 1950s. I shouldn't have to pay for you. Yeah, well, Lucy, I pay for your Social Security that is likely gone by the time I can collect. And let's check out fan number 3. Republicans out here trying to win back young voters by blocking Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. Which that kind of made me. How ironic that right when the midterm elections are wrapping up, this is their big achievement. And number 4, which is breaking. A federal judge in Texas has temporarily struck down Biden's student debt forgiveness program after a plaintiff filed a suit claiming it was, quote, unfair for people who didn't qualify. The kicker, this same plaintiff received almost $50,000 in PPP loan forgiveness. And Marissa, this has been something that has been ruffling my feathers. We've had this conversation numerous times on the Chris College Show Millennial Talk Show. And this individual in that last tweet I was just showcasing right now is Myra Brown. She's one of the 2 plaintiffs in the Texas lawsuit. She owns Desert Star Enterprise, which is being reported by The Intercept as a sign-making business. Well, she was able to get forgiveness of $48,000 for her PPP loan. So she's mad, Marissa, that her original loans that were funded by private companies makes her ineligible. That's why she doesn't want it for the rest of everybody else. What are your thoughts when you hear all this?
This could actually be a good thing because if it goes through, then they'll have to originally, and I'm not sure if her loan was exactly a personal private or the ones that originally qualified that the banks then turned around and said, we're going to sue you because we don't want it. And then they pulled those loans out. I think she's part of that batch. If I'm not mistaken, I could be.
That's a very interesting perspective.
If that is her, then this actually could be a good thing for all those other, it was, I think, 800,000 people that were lost their ability to have that, because then by opening that up, maybe they'll open the doors back up to have those people re-qualify for their forgiveness like they were originally promised to. So I could be wrong, but I think it might be on that scenario. It could be a good thing.
See, I like that stance compared to someone who's actually might going into a runoff election in December, Herschel Walker, who was saying, all those students who are about to get that forgiveness, or those ex-students, what they're going to spend that money on? Going on vacation.
That guy's a joke. That guy's a joke. If you look into his politics, his lies, his private life does not match what he is saying. But think of it like this, Marissa. We talked about it before. Tom Brady has received PPP loans. The last I recall, this was a guy who received this loan when he went to the freaking Super Bowl. We had Kanye West with his Yeezy Gap wear, which, that got decimated, but he received the loan. Or let's not forget about the New York scene when they try to save Broadway.
Well, they got over $10 million, and none of us saw it. It was at a special event that was outside for a very selective group of individuals. So when you start hearing all these kind of people start bitching and complaining about how there is no money to forgive these kind of acts, I think that's absolutely crazy. Obviously, the generational our group has spoken, and we'll just have to see what's going on. I mean, Myra Brown, I think, Marissa, you might be on to something, but this is very much developing right now within the scene. So definitely keep a lookout for that, because student loan forgiveness has been halted. The Biden administration is not accepting any more applications as of this time, but they are holding on to your information. So we'll just have to see what's good. But that is say it, but keep around, because the Chris Collins Show Millennial Talk Show has so much more left. So let's get it on, baby. What's good, listeners? Our guest on Just Talking is director and writer Zach Koepp to discuss his gripping social media thriller, The Willowbrook, live on the Chris Collins Show Millennial Talk Show. So, Zach, how's it going, fam?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you?
Hey, that's what's up. That's how you should be feeling. You should be feeling alive, my man. Move that soul train. You got an amazing film that we all love. And because we are a video on air production, we might as well go ahead and play that teaser trailer right now for The Willowbrook.
You see this? I can't believe it came all out here.
It used to be an inn.
Welcome to the Willowbrook.
Look, this is our family. That's me, that's Sid, there's Lacey. Everyone else is dead.
I just feel like a burden.
You are not a burden. Everybody has their issues. Have you met my family? Ace, you wouldn't mind helping Dakota on the farm tomorrow, would you?
Nobody likes the farm. You know, if they would, they'd come back.
Good morning, my loves.
You just gonna act like that didn't just happen?
It was interesting.
Did you try to kill yourself? Because a lot of the people who came here, they tried to kill themselves.
No.
I promise, all of the suffering is going to be beneficial to you. You have to want it.
I know what you are.
Get off my property.
Ooh, it is definitely
Such a good
spooky.
Trailer. Woo,
right? I
it.
mean, and the fact that, Zach, I got to say, congrats on the success of your directorial debut. And for anybody that was just watching this 1 minute teaser right here, what is this film all about?
Yeah, well, thank you guys. I guess first for saying that and having me on. The show is about a social media influencers in the health and wellness space, and she invites one of her recently overdosed followers to come seek recovery at her small town manor. And then when the follower gets there, she quickly realizes the dark world existing within this manor is not what she nor millions of others perceive from the internet.
Yeah, I mean, we all need our social media fix. And, why did you want to explore elements of social media with your very first feature film?
Yeah, so someone dear to me was a life coach. And although that person was a good human, I couldn't help but, while taking an interest in what that person did, I guess being more introduced to the field, and the no barrier to entry. And then the culmination of, I guess, that with social media turning into what it is, and coming out of COVID and the constant problems we all have with, if we get too sucked into that social media world, it's like the elixir for giving up your individual power. So that was something that I was really wanting to explore that. But this movie, with the pieces that we had, we did our best. So it was a special one to me.
No, I think it's very well done. And I mean, what an incredible milestone in your young cinematic career to, work alongside producer Jeffrey Reddick. the creator of the Final Destination franchise. Yes. I don't know about you, Marissa. I was eating that shit up all my lifehood, my childhood.
That
so
was
like
totally. all those movies. Those like still mind screwed me up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So since we are talking about Final Destination and how you linked up with Jeffrey Reddick, I mean, how did the two of you link up? I'm sure everybody's wondering.
Sure. So I guess to back up a little bit, Final Destination for me was I wore out the VHS just like you guys did. And
that's right.
It was something really special between my little brother and I, who's 4 years younger. And he went to Massachusetts for the summer when we were, I don't know, we were just kids, to go stay with my aunt. And he was going to fly alone, like with the stewardess or whatever the assisted program that they have to do that. But the night before his flight by himself. Oh yeah. So that movie.
That's an awesome older brother thing to do. That is awesome.
He was not doing well. I remember my mom came home from that airport and was like, it was so heavy. I had realized, another joke of mine had gone too far, much too far.
Funny though.
I think that's awesome, man. And like, what kind of advice did Jeffrey Reddick give to you? Because how did that link up go down? I mean, was it through like a school event? Was it just happen to be working on another project with them? How did that go down?
Sure. So I explained the childhood meaning Jeffrey and Final Destination was, and then fast forward, I don't know how many years later, when I was kind of first getting, in town, I suppose I was working with a producer who's she's like my Hollywood older sister named Cindy Cowan, and she had a meeting with Jeffrey, and he had come in, and I didn't know who he was until like I think halfway into the meeting, because I was kind of at the front and he came in, and I don't know why, but I just didn't know that it was him. We had like a lovely talk, and I'm like, God, whoever this dude is, like whatever job this guy has in this business, I want to work with this human. And then quickly, in the middle of the meeting, finding out that it was, Jeffrey, I was like, this is incredible. And then
I'm starting to think, Zach, maybe it worked out better that you didn't know who he was, because you don't want to be flaunting all over him at the beginning of the meeting. And maybe he realized that you're just kind of being laid back and being real and being yourself, that, naturally, I'm assuming you guys just clicked.
Yeah, it was just for what you said, it was a totally, cohesive, energetic thing. There was because of that, it was just a very genuine, good conversation. And there'd been, when you're in production, a lot of personalities come through the door. And the second I talked to him, I was like, this human being is wonderful. And then he became my, like my brother. I love him to pieces. So he had so let's see. So I met Jeffrey there, and then we had worked together on a movie that it's in pre-production still right now. It's called Superstition. But
nice.
You have another movie coming out then with
he does.
Yeah, okay.
I guess I'm producing on it, but
okay.
But
you still like. I think that's the beauty about filmmaking. You definitely got to get around and network. If you want to make that next big feature film, I think that's how you got to make it happen. And Zach Koepp, that's how you're spelling it out, and I love it. But let's go back to your film Willowbrook, because I want to know. Are you one of those skeptics worried about the long-term effects of social media? Are you one of those baby boomers? Or like, I'm kind of feeling like you just have to embrace it. This is our world, my man.
Yeah, like I couldn't lean out of it, even, when I say this, like at the time I didn't have social media, but I'd been addicted to it for years before I deleted it. And then as soon as the movie wrapped, I reinstalled or re-downloaded Instagram, and anyone
so you were doing it before all the celebrities are doing it now, with Twitter and suggesting going over to Mastodon.
I have been in this hole where I've been writing for like the last week, but I've been catching this thing, and I've been telling myself like I'm gonna, whenever I get a little time here, I'm gonna like read through this whole Twitter thing, because I'm so confused, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, are you concerned about this course of information being distributed online? I mean, that's been the biggest conversation when it comes to Elon Musk, for example, acquiring Twitter.
I mean, I just don't I mean, personally, I'm such a Luddite. I guess for those who don't know that word, it's just like technologically not advanced human. And
that was a very big word, Zach.
That went
so
over.
You're talking to a millennial audience. I have to pull that back. I just had to pull that back.
Went over Chris's head.
I'm glad you broke it down for all of us.
Absolutely, and Chris absolutely is affirmative.
Another big word for him. Another big word for him.
No, it is. But like in your film, Zach, you suggest in the Willowbrook, social media kind of acts as a drug. Everybody's got to get that fix, and obviously they go to the influencer, they read up all these great, beautiful things. But is any of that going to change? Because I got to tell you right now, Zach, I'm definitely fixed on social media. I got that itch. I definitely want to be in on the now. So will that ever change, or that's just our reality?
I think that's our reality. What I was in my perfect mind, I guess, when I put this production together, it was pretty quickly. But I always was like, if we can even get this thing done, my only hope from that movie is that people know, social media is not going to get fixed on anyone else's accord but your own, and how you choose to be social on that.
Very true. We talk about that all the time.
Oh yeah. It's very important.
Can I share something with you, Zach? I definitely found this that I thought was very, very wild. And last month, The Intercept reported that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is quietly broadening its efforts to curb speech it considers dangerous. And at the beginning of the year, the DHS announced a new disinformation governance board, a panel designed to police misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation that allegedly threatens U.S. interests. So this kind of goes back to the Harry Potter world. No, I'm just kidding. We're talking about our world, planet Earth. Do we need a Ministry of Truth in this country, or does it have to be exactly what you just suggested, has to come from the individual soul?
I mean, I think that the individual soul is the ultimate answer. But I mean, I certainly, if there's a ministry there, that, I could certainly see that, especially with what little I know about the Twitter information is.
But don't you think that's kind of scary? Because, we also got Elon Musk, who's kind of being accused of, taking down people who are not labeling themselves as a parody account. We saw it with Kathy Griffin. I guess Sarah Silverman is permanently banned or temporarily banned. I'm not necessarily sure.
He owns it. You know what? Hey, he owns that side. He spent
that's true, but that's true, Marissa. But
if he wants to ban people, let him ban them. If he wants to kick them off, let him kick them off. He owns
that world. How can people not tell the difference between sarcasm?
If you owned it, it's not a public entity. There's no stocks on it. Elon Musk can literally do whatever he wants with Twitter. And if you
like that response, Zach?
If you got a problem with it, get off Twitter.
Do you like that response?
I do, in the sense that it's irrefutable. But also should
I thought you were in the world of comedy. You were telling me, behind the scenes. And you're on the side of Marissa about a little sarcasm. He has the right to take it down. Y'all are lame. I'm sorry. That's a terrible feel.
Don't be hating on Elon Musk. Don't be hating. Don't be hating.
Oh, right, fine. But Zach, in the Willowbrook. But Zach, in the Willowbrook, there's a line that stuck out to me right in the beginning of the film when Lacey Willowbrook says directly into the camera, "You are exactly where you need to be, right here, right now, even when it doesn't feel like it." So talk to me about trusting the flow of life, because I just feel like Elon Musk doesn't trust the flow of life right now. Or at least, are we just making accusations of him?
No, the flow of life is something that I'm so far from being able to, articulate, even, making, a little movie like this. Surrender and these things are something as a human being, I'm working on all the time, because I'm such a energetic, suffocator, all I know is how to kind of bulldoze. And I have learned sort of recently the beginning steps of surrender. So the flow of life and everything there. What I liked about that part was how we talked about weaving in sort of the vulnerabilities between social media and the health and wellness space. So that character can kind of capitalize and prey on vulnerability, because the people who are seeking her out has almost been organized via algorithms to basically feed her prey, in this health and wellness space. So what I liked about that is it was very true in some dimensions, and it was also as much as true as it was an utter manipulation from the message she was trying to preach. So I'm happy you said that, because that very line is essentially the theme of our movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know who's also been prying on our vulnerability is people that I think of, like Mark Zuckerberg, who's got these very ambitious ideas, basically trying to re-gear social media to become this workplace for the meta. And according to Mark Zuckerberg, the metaverse is described by the meta creator as, quote, an embodied internet where instead of just viewing content, you are in it. So why does it feel like these tech giants are so out of reality? Or are you seeing something that I'm not seeing, Zach?
No, I'm sure you're more intelligent than I am in this field. We're in the same world. I mean, you have a little bit of more life years than I do, but don't downplay yourself. All right,
would you go on, Zach? Would you go on the meta? Like, if you were like, hey, look, here's an account. You have, you can set up your own little house and go shopping and do all that stuff. Is that something you would delve into? No, because you said you're not into tech really.
It just doesn't interest me. There are times where, I get FOMO from maybe an investment standpoint, and the fact that, I did study blockchain quite a bit when I was studying movie distribution. And ultimately, I do feel like blockchain is going to be the future for the archaic Hollywood accounting that is movie distribution. So I'm very intrigued by that. I'm most confident it's smarter than me. I just where I'm at and who I am as a human being, when I start building meta houses and stuff, I'm probably not doing well.
spend $100,000 on a meta house. People do that. Right. It trips me out. I'm like, hey, could you buy me a house? I would like a house.
It's a real house. Thing.
I guess that is a very real point. I mean, obviously, with the ever rising, world of VR and AR, a lot of people feel like, democracy is being threatened because this might be some form of surveillance and control. But Zach, you're bringing up something that is resonating with me right now, because long are the days of, let's say, floppy disk or flip phones, because our information, including communication, has rapidly changed over the years. And I would say our environment now functions with touch screens, the digital wallet, Bitcoin transactions, GPS tracking. So shouldn't we be more concerned? I mean, I feel like it. I mean, I think that's the theme that you're trying to project, even in your own feature film.
Totally. No, we should be concerned. And, the thing that's most important, we're kind of talking about, what I feel like the end result is on individuals' quest to handle social media. I feel that we just, I guess we're going to run another parallel with the movie. It's when you stop thinking for yourself, the abuse of power you allow when you kind of just surrender and you're seeing something, whether it be technology or an influencer via technology, and you're I want what this person has, I'm broken, you just tell me what to do, I'll do it. Your way gets you there. It's so visceral and feral at the same time. We're talking about survival. So I'm one of those guys who I totally believe in the power of technology. I believe that if we're already bugged for the rest of our lives, I've already tapped out back in when I defeated Snake on Nokia, I'm good. I'm just whatever, No,
I think that's a good point. I mean, gosh, we might not be microchipped like dogs, but we are basically walking around like a GPS tracker with all of our iPhones and Androids and etc. But I can't thank you enough, Zach Koepp, for joining Just Talking. You got an incredible directorial debut of a feature film called The Willowbrook. And so for anybody who wants to check out this film today, where do they go? Let them know it's good.
Okay, so they can go on Amazon Prime, TVOD, the Apple TV, iTunes. It's on like Google Play. It's pretty much everywhere transactional video on demand, isn't it? So where you can just anywhere you can buy movies.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yes.
And then we'll use that data back to the technology theme, and then we'll kind of use that to leverage in when we choose our streamer, whether that be Hulu or wherever, in a few months.
Nice.
See, I like that. Just a little bit of a behind the scenes anecdote. That is super cool, my man. And Zach Koepp,
you guys.
You got an incredible film, and I can't thank you enough for joining the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
Thank you guys.
Have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Take care.
No, you've been great, brother. And for everybody that's with us right now live on the Chris Collins Show, stick around because we got so much more left on the half-hour mark. So let's get it, fam.
Yeah.
What's good, listeners? This is Strike a Chord, where we interview guests from all around the world. But we're going to be doing something a little bit different today because Marissa and I, we're very excited. We're going to be showcasing our 7th installment of Off the Fret, More Music Talk. And we are featuring LA pop rockers Poe the Passenger, amassing over 1 million streams on their debut LP, Alinea, out today at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, wherever you listen to podcasts and YouTube. And I want to remind everybody, if you made it this far into the live show, what are you waiting for? Hit the like and subscribe button so you never miss a live show. And because I'm so excited, Marissa, we're going to have to show the people what's good. Our CCS family has been so remarkable throughout the 4 years that we've been live on air. And we are going to highlight an exclusive clip of Jeff and Trent speaking on honoring Jeff's father through the band's name. I was reading in your high school alma mater newspaper that the band's name, specifically the word Poe, is a touching tribute to the passing of your father. And explain why the band wanted to honor your pops.
Wow. You did your research, man. Well, I guess this question is twofold, right? So, when I was trying to come up with like a moniker or a name for what I was doing, I was reading a lot. And my dad passed away when I was really little. I was only 1 year old, and my siblings are much older. And they've been very coddling, very parental to me, and kind of had let me run free, as my mom has done as well. And when I moved out to California, slowly they would send me stuff of my dad's, because I was like, okay, I want to be a little bit more in tune with who he was and like what his life was like, because I was curious. At first I was angry and angsty as we are when you lose somebody or lose somebody too soon. And they started sending me like poetry of his, and I found a lot of Edgar Allan Poe, and I would find like his poems like stuffed inside some of the pages, and he had written on some of the pages. He had wrote various poems about my mom and my siblings, and just kind of like interesting things about life. And I just thought that was so cool. Like, what a cool story. And I wanted to do something adjacent to that as a tribute to him, but also to, explore my own artistry, right? I don't want to be a copy of who he was, because I get compared to him a lot, especially in my family. And to me, it's like, okay, I can make these songs that have those similar kind of emotional things and the sarcasm that he puts on the page. I want to do that same thing in my own way. And that to me is like songwriting, and poetry and songwriting are very similar. And I guess, this is a great question. I think when I approached Trent and Matt, I was like, hey, I think this is kind of a deal breaker. Like, I don't think I want to change it. And from what I remember, I think they embraced it. But Trent, you can piggyback on that as well.
Yeah, I don't get too sentimental with names. I remember enjoying the name, but anyone who's ever been in a band knows that everything's already been done before. Every name's already been picked. So it's just deciding, on a name that seems like it semi-suits you. And so, yeah, I didn't have an issue with it. I thought it was a good name. It's not like Hoobastank or something. I would have preferred that, but
No, but I think that is the beauty of your guys' band name. At least for myself, it definitely made me think, where is Poe the Passenger going? Which leads me to the second half of the band's name, The Passenger. What's the hidden meaning behind The Passenger?
Well, that's definitely something that we can all relate to. We were talking about, being strangers or being estranged from the community, and passenger actually comes from a literary reference in an Edgar Allan Poe short story that basically says that we are passengers in life, just passing through, and we have to make the most of what time we have. And I think anybody can get on board with that. And I think it really helps us know that, hey, we're not stuck in one place. And even if you feel like a passenger, you can always travel. You can always go to the next place. You don't have to be stuck in one fixed position. And I think that idea of traveling and not ever being like stuck was kind of something that we can all relate to.
Absolutely, Jeff. I think that's something that we can definitely relate to. Never stop moving, fam. You got to move that soul train, because no one's going to move that locomotive, and you got to stay grounded. Don't derail, my friend. And we, because this is Strike a Chord, and because we're playing exclusive clips from our brand new Off the Fret, More Music Talk music podcast, why not show the people what's good? You're right here, right now, live with us. So let's go ahead and play Poe the Passenger's music video, Strangers, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
Somebody call the doctor, I'm so paranoid. I got too many thoughts filling the spots in my head. I'm waiting on an outcome that I can't avoid. There is no way to stop or turn back the clock on regret. Maybe we're strangers, victim of the ages. Spend our life complacent, wasting our love. It's so contagious, bending over backwards, rather traded places, fucking fed up. Somebody tell the prophet that it's all gone wrong. We just hope that we're not killing the plot in ourselves. Chaos in the headlines, yelling, remain calm. There's no better reason to break up the peace when the people are screaming at the top of their lungs. Maybe we're strangers, victim of the ages. Spend our life complacent, wasting our love. It's so contagious, bending over backwards, rather traded places, fucking fed up. Strangers, victim of the ages, spend our life complacent, wasting our love.
Yeah, that's what's good. That is Poe the Passenger's music video, Strangers, and you can find that hit track on their debut LP, Alinea, which has amassed over 1 million streams in its first month. So congrats to Poe the Passenger. That is something truly special. And this is Strike a Chord where... Oh, yeah, let me bring you on in, Marissa. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, Marissa doesn't exist. We don't exist.
No.
That's one of my favorite songs. I honestly love that song from them. Like,
no, it's truly one of a kind. And we were so honored to have them during their very first appearance on the Chris Collins Show right here on Strike a Chord. And we love them so much that I had to bring their asses back right away for our very, very special Off the Fret, More Music Talk podcast, where I actually get to sit down with them longer. I actually get to dive into their world. I get to talk about the rising of a truly up-and-coming legendary group such as Poe the Passenger. We talk about music industry talk and so much more. And since we're so fortunate enough to have such a kick-ass roster over the last year when it comes to this truly special music podcast, we're very excited to announce that later today at 2:00 Pacific Standard Time, you will be able to check out the full-length episode with this motley crew. And I can't contain my excitement. So here's another exclusive clip of the band discussing their hit single, Where You Go. Oh, shortly after. We don't want to get too much into it. We don't want to play the music video just yet. It's more fun when you actually get to play about the explanation behind this hit single. So let's go ahead and play that clip right now. Shortly after going #1 on K-Rock's Locals Only for your single Follow Me, the band shifted focus quickly to produce a new single, Where You Go, where Jeff, you sing the following quote, "Where do you go when I'm not around?" So I want to know, are you two the clingy type of lovers? Sounds like it. Confess, who in the band? Don't tell me it's Matt, because Matt can't speak for himself. I think it's one of you two.
It's 100% Matt. No, what is that song about to you, Jeff? You got a good way of describing what that means.
Relationships are tough, and I'm a hard person to love. That's why my girlfriend is so amazing. Is she really loves me, but I'm a hard person to love, and I am up at all random hours of the night. I like to go for late night walks. I like to do all this crazy stuff, and I'm a hard person to love. And I was in the studio, or I think we were in the studio late one night with our friend Chris Antillo, who's got a great studio in Montrose, and he had inherited his grandmother's house, and it was like really late. I want to say like 2 a.m, and we were just kind of like talking about life, listening to music and all this stuff, and we just kind of stumbled upon the topic of like, man, how crazy is it to be able to get to a point where you like trust somebody so much that they don't have to know where you are all the time to know that like you're not out there like being nefarious or being infidelity or having infidelity or whatever like that. And imagine if you let that get a hold of you and how crazy that would make you. And that's where the lyrical content from that song. So that's not based on anything that's like happened, but it's just kind of that thought that you could have, but is a very damaging thought. And that's why the song is so emotional and kind of raw, and like has all these really unique, which you'll hear, the unique lyrics and stuff. Somebody that's
absolutely. I mean, it definitely connects with our generation. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, with social media, I mean, my gosh, I mean, when I, definitely, with the whole GPS location, you might not know this. I know you're still on MapQuest, Jeff, but, on Snapchat at one point, you could literally see whoever your user's at, that's a little weird in my opinion. But you know what? Before we play your music video, Where You Go, I want to showcase a clip for you two to watch right now. So I'm going to roll that clip.
Fun fact, we actually got stranded at the Salton Sea in a Chevy Tahoe on the sand and the beach. For some reason, we thought we could drive on it, and we sank in, and it was over 100 degrees, and we were stranded for hours until a tow truck could come get us. So thank you, Desert Towing, for coming to get us.
So I want to know, whose bright idea was it to drive a Chevy Tahoe on the beach?
Oh man, that was Ryan Dahlwall, my best friend, and he's the director for the music video. And
he's driving on this beach all willy nilly, and I'm like, the moment I say it, I'm like, hey, it's starting to get pretty soft over here, and he's like, no, actually, it's pretty hard. And then the moment he says it just the whole Chevy Tahoe just sinks like a foot, and we get stuck. So
tell me this was towards the end of the music video shoot, not in the beginning, right?
No, it was at the beginning.
Second location.
Like,
oh my gosh, that's got to be so brutal.
And we jinxed it too, because anytime you shoot a music video, you're always behind schedule, and someone's like, "Hey, we're kind of ahead of schedule right now."
Oh no.
Yeah, we were killing it after the first location. We're like, "This is amazing. It's going well. We're doing all this like sightseeing. The whole like video wanted to be like a road trip vibe, and then we were there.
That is hilarious. Yeah, how long?
Like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and we were trying to dig it out, and we couldn't do it. It was.
I want to say we were there for like 2.5 to 3 hours before the tow truck even like said they were coming. Like we were like, we're trapped out here, because it's like, we were out in the boonies, and like there weren't tow trucks for like miles, and then like there was this one company that wouldn't like answer, and then they finally answered like, yeah, we're the only company that can get you. Apparently this happens all the time at the Salton Sea, and people just get stuck out there, so they have to tow, but they can't. Obviously, they can't come out onto the sand because they'll sink in too. So they have this like really long hitch or whatever, wench or whatever they call it, and they had to like tow it like I don't know, like a half of a football field or something. It really
Oh my Lanta. I love it, man. Oh, you always laugh with those kind of funny behind the scenes. That's like a story I know with you boys will never go away. It is always very funny to laugh about those kind of things. And let me bring you back on in, Marissa, because have you ever had, because I know you are an actress, have you ever had to experience any kind of delay on a film shoot? Because I got a pretty funny one.
Every single one I've ever been on has been a delay.
What's a juicy one or something that's got you so upset, or maybe kind of a funny moment that you laugh back on?
I don't know if any were funny. I mean, it's just like what happens,
yeah, usually
right?
they're never funny. But hey,
the one that made me mad was, and it was actually a television show. It was years and years and years ago. I was doing extra work on it, and I did extra work, right? Learn about how does the industry work, what's going on, and all their food. They have great food, and this thing was just like going on, and they had like no snacks for us. It was a banana. And I was like, you're making me stay here way long because something happened on their set. And you don't even have a snack for me? Like, I never did that.
Yeah, that's
show it was. I never did that show again. I was like, no,
yeah,
they don't have food.
Or the world of like pizza that shows up on a film set. Oh my gosh, that's always
pizza? Yeah.
Do you want especially if you bring in like Little Caesars? Yeah, it's never always the good ones, like Little Caesars or something like that. Right. No, I remember working on my very first feature film, and one of my brothers, Adi Fox, well, his dad, Kevin Fox, he was actually one of our very first 4 guests on the Chris Collins Show Millennial Talk Show. So if you guys want to find that on our YouTube channel, Kevin Fox, he's the producer of the Blair Witch Project. Well, when I was just graduating from Claremont High School, Kevin was very nice enough to know that I was very ambitious to get myself into the entertainment industry. And he was currently working on a feature film that he wrote called Do Over, not the one Do Over with Adam Sandler. They ended up kind of stealing the reign from us years later when they also named their film Do Over. But there was a very funny scene, and I won't name the actress, but if you see the film, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Well, the day of the shoot, there was a sex scene with Jonathan Bennett. He is the Erin Samuel in Mean Girls, if you're familiar with that, Marissa. And there's a funny moment where like he's in bed with this girl, and she's all really into like chocolate pudding, and they want to eat like a chocolate cupcake. We don't find out until the day of the shoot when she showed up a little bit late that she was a gluten-free. She was a vegan. So the cupcakes that we got wouldn't work for the scene.
Yeah.
But the director called for cupcakes. So who had to go and run around town to go and find a vegan chocolate gluten-free cupcake, which at the time 5 years ago, no one knew what the hell a gluten-free was. That was the worst experience that I've ever had in my life. And the shoot literally got delayed for 2 hours. Could you imagine being electric and grip, being that much of a pain in the ass? Come on! Like, that is so freaking crazy.
I have to say, if it's an allergy, I mean, technically, you guys should have asked her first. Hey,
that's
are
true
you able?
too.
So I'm just gonna throw it on you. I was a
puny little PA, so thank God it didn't fall on my shoulders.
I just say,
but that's a good point. I guess I can't say whether she was allergic or not. All I know is like when I heard gluten free, I went, the fuck?
Yeah, a lot of people I mean, she could have been back then. The gluten diets weren't really popular.
I thought it was that. Like, that's what a lot of people.
Well, it could be, but 5 years ago, that really wasn't that known as well. So
it wasn't. That's all I remember. Now that's all you hear, right?
Yeah,
gluten-free this, gluten-free that. I still, to this day, Marissa, don't know what gluten-free is, but that's not what we're going to be talking about
Chris.
when it comes to striking chord. Marissa.
You hurt my brain.
No.
You just hurt my brain.
When you think about me, just think about a minute 30 on your Hot Pocket. Then that explains everything when it comes to my cooking habits. If you were gluten
intolerant, you would not be able to have your Hot Pocket. Let's just put it that way, okay?
I'm not even going to pretend like I even understood what the hell Marissa was just saying right now. But hey, we want to keep up with the excitement. We're very excited again to have Poe the Passenger join us for our 7th installment of Off the Fret, More Music Talk podcast, which is going to be releasing later today at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to continue this hype and continue the celebration for our brand new episode. Let's go ahead and play their music video right now. This song is called Where You Go, live on the Chris Collins Show Millennial Talk Show.
I wanna know where you go when I'm not around. You say that you love me, but you don't make a sound. I wanna know every part of you is the same. On another level, why is love such a game? Picture perfect in my mind, digital and it all of the surprise. Get your body close to mine. We're robotic, but they tell us that we're fine. Your body, you're coming is just asleep by design. Well, I thought that I knew you, I'm getting played every time. I wanna know where you go when I'm not around. You say that you love me, but you don't make a sound. I wanna know every part of you is the same. On another level, why is love such a game? I wanna know. I wanna know. I haven't heard from you. What's the excuse this time? You say it's nothing new, but we both know you've got no pride. Question reality, I'm onto what you've done. Gaslight me once again and you call me the crazy one. Body you're coming is just asleep by design. Well, I thought that I knew you, I'm getting played every time. I wanna know where you go when I'm not around. Say that you love me, but you don't make a sound. I wanna know every part of you is the same. On another level, why is love such a game? I wanna know. I wanna know. If your bones decompose, sweet and slow, I will be waiting. Catacombs, like a ghost. Listen close, you'll hear me say, I wanna know where you go when I'm not around. You say that you love me, but you don't make a sound. I wanna know every part of you is the same. On another level, why is love such a game? I wanna know. Picture perfect in my mind. Just say that you love me. Just say that you love me. I wanna know. Get your body close to mine. Just say that you love me. Say we're in love. I wanna know where you go.
Well, you got to turn on the audio, but hey, that's what's good. That is Poe the Passenger. Don't they always have such incredible cinematic videos?
So hot. I love that song. That's that whole like where the guy's just so obsessed with you, you know, and so unhealthy and weirdly so hot.
No, I mean, I think sex sells, but who's buying? I mean, you know, the biggest thing.
I did. I got their album.
That's right. That's what's up. Hey, and I know the boys definitely appreciate you, whether you pick it up physically or digitally. I mean, it definitely goes miles, definitely for these groups. I mean, especially considering, I don't know if you heard the news, Marissa, about Lordy, whatever you call her.
Yeah, Madonna's daughter.
She was basically saying that she's calling out the music industry. She's saying even touring is not enough to make a living, and she's saying that.
You mean Lord? Sorry,
she's barely breaking even.
I believe
this is something that even Lady Gaga has even been vocal about. Even I remember 4 or 5 years ago. So that is something I know we'll definitely have to explore next week. This was brand new information that we saw late last night. I believe it was with the Rolling Stones. So hey, the best way to go and support an artist is go pick up that merchandise. Check out interviews with the band, go ahead and buy their music and go and see them live on tour. I know that these guys are excited to hit the road in 2023. So definitely keep a lookout for that. And you can find the latest episodes of Off the Fret interviews with artists such as Anson, Animal Sun, Royals, Cannibal Kids, The Phoenix Within, The Blowies, and now Poe the Passenger. Their episode will be dropping later today at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also for everyone who's tuning in, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you never miss a live show. So stick around. More left on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Yeah, this is what's good. And, we always like to share things that are just, I think that these are breathtaking things that I think that we all just need to cherish, because these are some of these great moments that we lived through, especially during my childhood, Marissa. And I even can't believe that this is even being reported now. This should have been something that had been reported 20 years ago. How am I just knowing this today in the world of 2022 on a Friday, November 11th? Well, I'm going to be the first one to tell you if you haven't known, because it's taken 25 years. And yes, you're hearing that correctly. 25 years that Ash Ketchum, the legendary Pokemon trainer, has finally done the very best like no one ever was. See what I did there, fam? You see what I did there, fam? Bringing back up that Pokemon. But hey, let's get right on into it, because, he's been battling countless gym leaders. He has stopped Team Rocket. Well, now Ash Ketchum and Pikachu have finally won. They have won in a latest episode of Pokemon Ultimate Journeys, the series. And it's just, Marissa, I have to bring you back in on camera, because you would have thought by now that a smart TV series would have had their main protagonist win in a game. But then again, maybe this is a great life lesson for kids who grew up with this, now being adults, knowing that the hardships in life might not necessarily come. It's going to take multiple seasons. It's going to take years.
I actually like the fact that, because I was the same as you. For some reason, I thought he was also like already master, like the dude, right, and was playing against other masters, right? So Pokemon's not like my world, but I kind of got that gist. But I actually love the fact that he wasn't a master through this, because it shows that nobody's born great in their field. They have to learn about it, put in their hard-earned dues, whether it might have been a shorter path or a longer path, you still have to put in the work for the path.
Exactly.
And I like that. That's really good.
Isn't that kind of cool? I don't know if there's going to be ever an animated series that can top what Pokemon just did today. Think about it. I think you just spelled it out so perfectly well, Marissa. I love that. And we also got one left on the What's Good. This is kind of sort of last minute in my world, but I definitely wanted to shout this out because it is definitely legendary when it comes to the world of the United States. Progressive activist Maxwell Frost, 25 years old, will officially become the first Gen Z member of Congress after winning his race to represent Florida's 10th congressional district. He was known as a community organizer, Marissa, and when he goes into Congress in January, that will be the month where he turns 26 years old.
Wow.
We're in a whole new era.
Just think in a decade, he could be a president.
Yeah. Let's not start talking like that now, because I know every baby boomer who likes to watch our show might be fearful, and we might smell them away.
Baby boomers that watch our show? What?
Oh, no, come on. I think we're pretty hip. I think, we might not burn vaginal candles during the show, but I think that we're pretty hip. I would like to think that, Marissa.
Why do you want to bring up the vaginal candles? You got a stash in your room?
What's wrong with vaginal candles? You got a stash in
your room?
Mom, stay out of my closet. But hey, we got to definitely thank our amazing Just Talking guest. That is Zach Koepp. He's got an incredible, gripping social media thriller called The Willowbrook. You can check it out on video on demand. It's out there, fam. Go ahead and check it out. It's very, very cool. And we can't thank all our active listeners for joining us every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, because without your support, this show wouldn't be possible. And follow us on social media by following our handle at Chris Collins Show for more updates on guest announcements, new interviews, and so much more. And also check out our brand new episode of Off the Fret, more music talk, featuring LA pop rockers Poe the Passenger, out today at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'll bring you back on camera, Marissa, because I know we're excited for next week's guest. I know we definitely are.
I know.
It's our CCS video game contributor, Henrik the Wreck. We're going to be talking about all things gaming, industry talk, gaming news, and so much more. And we got an announcement that we're definitely going to be sharing with you guys during next week's show. So you definitely don't want to miss the live event, because we got something juicy we've been cooking up in the last 3 to 4 months, and I can't wait to finally share it with the public. So tune in or be square, fam. And also, if you like what you're listening to, go to thechriscollinsshow.com and become a member today and get your free CCS t-shirt. But for now, enjoy the weekend, fam, and we'll see you next week. Peace. Holler at your boy. Now I gotta say, toodaloo. What's good, party people? Chris Collins Show presents Music Storm 2022, hosted by Chris Collins and Marissa Pitts, featuring Royals, Hurricane Highway, Cannibal Kids, Amanda Cooksey, Astoria State, Kid Dad, Resounding, Sleep Cycles, Avenues, Freckles, Weather Worn, Just True, Sophia Marie, Music Storm 2022. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. Our brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
I love it. It's more time to chat. Hello.
You look so jazzy. I love your outfit. How far would you go to start playing live music again? This slaps harder than my ex when she got her stimulus check. So, are you here to bring the sexual healing with your music? Everything is everything, and I guarantee you're going to hear this song in the future. I love the flow, man. Politically charged album. So, if you get easily offended, this might not be the album for you. Brand new podcast, Off the Fret.
So excited.
Has Kim Kardashian accidentally sent you a coochie shot?
Do you want to stay there? It's completely your choice. Or you want to...
I feel you. And you know what? I love it. Off the Fret. More music talk. Peace. What's good? It's Chris from the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, featuring alternative pop rock band Poe the Passenger, amassing over 1 million streams with their debut LP, Alinea, joins Off the Fret. More music talk.